Hello, I'm here to talk about Klaroro. The name is stupid, but it's a simple 2D boss rush hentai game. There's 7 bosses to beat, each providing a decent challenge, aside from the first tutorial boss. You can fight most of them in any order except for the final boss, Klaroro herself, so if for whatever reason one of the bosses is proving a bit too difficult, you can try another one. In my first playthrough, I beat the game in about an hour, and then when I played it again to get footage, I beat it in 20 minutes, so it's incredibly short, but I don't actually mind that at all. When it comes to H games, I actually prefer that they be shorter because, like, I don't know about you guys, but I can only be in the mood to play one of these games for so long before I gotta start, taking care of business, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, let's start this review with some positives. But I need to address one thing first. Looking at the credits, it looks like the environment art, the music, and the sound effects all came from asset packs, which is not inherently a bad thing. It's just something I felt should be pointed out before continuing. Now then, the character designs and animations are all excellent. Great work. No notes there, pretty much. Though personally I didn't care much for Tam's design and their scenes. They weren't really my thing at all. Well, okay, there was like a thigh job one, that was pretty good. But aside from that, my personal favorite has to be Altero for both obvious and not so obvious reasons, which I'll get to in a minute. My second favorite probably is the Kraken girl. Her scenes were very nice. There's a good variety in the scenes as well, so there's going to be something here you'll probably enjoy. I know I said the music came from an asset pack, but again, not a bad thing. And I actually think the music, for the most part, fits quite nicely, especially the song that plays in the main menu. The combat itself is overall just fine. Nothing really too groundbreaking here, but that's to be kind of expected, unfortunately, when it comes to these kind of games. The controls are really basic. You can jump, you can roll with iframes, you can drink health potions, and you can shoot. You shoot the bosses with some kind of hypnotizing ray thing with your cell phone. It doesn't make any sense, but whatever. After you hit them enough times, you walk up to them and mash left and right on your keyboard for a few seconds as the scene plays out. Typically you do this twice per phase, and each boss, aside from the first and the last boss, has 3 phases. Again, the game isn't too difficult, at least for me it wasn't, because you just mostly have to remember the boss patterns, so it just takes a bit of learning to do, but after that it's really not that bad to execute. Still, it took me a couple times to beat each boss. Again, aside from the first one. Now, spoiler alert for Altero, kinda, because they show it off in the trailer that's on the Steam page, but I didn't see that before I played, and this was honestly a pleasant surprise when I learned about this. So, in the first H scene, they give you a foot job. I wish I was in the feet, or I guess in this case, paws, but I'm not, so I didn't really think much of it. But then, in the second scene, it's revealed that they're a femboy. So that automatically makes this game a 10 out of 10. The best one to ever do it, best to ever exist. You put a furry femboy in your game, you're gonna get all the awards, all the accolades, whatever, anything. So I think that's all the positives I have to give. So let's start complaining. So like I said, the controls are basic, but you can't change the buttons at all. And the default controls made my hand cramp up because it just felt so unnatural. To explain, the control button uses the health potion, Z shoots the phone, X jumps, C rolls, and use the arrow keys to move. I would often hit the wrong button and jump when I wanted to roll and vice versa, and using your ring finger to constantly shoot is probably the culprit for my cramping, or maybe it's just a skill issue, I don't know. There's not even controller support, which is kind of baffling to me, as this would have been perfect for it. So most of the time I was fighting with the controls and had to sometimes take a short break just to rest my hand and fingers. There's some boss phases that are just annoying, like this one here during the last boss fight, as the pattern is the same every time. It's incredibly easy, so it just feels like a bit of a time waster. And there's this boss phase, also from the last boss, that's just a bit unclear. See, it shows on the screen a warning as if these spots are safe to stand in and these spots aren't, and yet if you stand in it, you get hit. So what I ended up doing was just rolling right before it hit, and that seemed to work. At least that's what I did during my first playthrough, and on the second playthrough, you just gotta jump. You just gotta jump. There are also some moments during fights where you filled up their hypnotize meter, but they're still going through an attack phase. This was probably done on purpose, but it sometimes felt kind of like, I don't know, like cheap. Felt like I was robbed. It's probably fine. It's not really a big issue. The sound design for the H scenes, severely lacking. Just not good. There's no voice work. Only one dull, quick, and repeating sound effect that plays during these scenes. Here's what that sounds like. So hopefully I'm not alone in thinking that this sucks. It's awful. It really makes it disappointing to try to watch the scenes back after you have unlocked them all. Speaking of, it's kind of annoying that you don't unlock the gallery until you've completely beaten the game. The game is super short, so it's not like it's difficult to do, but maybe you beat a boss that you want to watch back again because you're in the mood, and you just like, you beat that boss and you're like, oh, that looked good. What if I just go look at it again? No, can't do it. You got to beat everybody else first. Also, minor gripe. Felt inconsistent how you can only use the keyboard to navigate all of the menus, except for the gallery, which lets you use the mouse. And then even then it's still like finicky, I don't know. And then back to the combat for a minute. Felt like having to tap the left and right arrow keys after hypnotizing the boss was just unnecessary, as I always just ended up having to do it twice anyways. I would have preferred to just be able to watch the scene without having to mash my keyboard. This game technically has a story, but also not really. All I can glean is that you get isekai'd into this world and for some reason have to fight these maidens by hypnotizing them with your phone somehow. And then at the end you get to pick whether you stay in the world or you leave it. It doesn't make any sense, but it also doesn't really matter. I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about this game. And I know I said a lot of negative things there, but I still think I'd recommend trying this game out. Maybe wait for it to go on sale though, as again, it can easily be beaten in under an hour. And you're really just playing it to see the animations, so you could honestly probably just find them online. But if a sequel was to be made, I'd love for there to be more attention made to the sound design of the H scenes, customizable controls, and just more animations and characters. Just more of what was already there, and maybe a story. But that kind of thing is optional to me. So thank you guys for watching. If you played this game before, let me know what you think about it. Feel free to tell me what you think I should review next. And please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. I know this one's a bit of a short one, but the game was short, so there's not much I can really say. But still, thank you for watching. Thanks for being here, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, goodbye. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I swear to God, I'm gonna fuck